Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Let's go.
Welcome back, Blitzers, and thank you for taking some time today to listen to the Buckeye Blitz podcast. I'm your host, Chad Stryker. We have officially started spring practice. So the countdown is over, and we even had a post practice interview with Coach Day. So it is an exciting day to be a Buckeye. So thanks for taking a few minutes and spending some time with us today. If you could hit that like button, it is definitely helping with our search engine in YouTube for us to surface with other Buckeye football related content. So it's really been great. And I appreciate everybody that's listening and liking and subscribing and submitting questions. You guys are awesome. It actually keeps me doing this. So thank you for doing that and keeping me going. So spring practice began today, as I mentioned at the top of the podcast. It's the first of two practices this week, today, and then there'll be another one on Thursday. And Coach Day announced today that there will also be a scrimmage on Saturday. So I'm planning to do a podcast over the weekend post scrimmage to kind of just, a little short 3 to 5 minute video of what I saw, just to keep everybody updated on it, and I'll let you know kind of what I thought. OSU spring break is next week, so they'll be taking a break. The ball players will be taking a break. Not all of them leave or anything, but I don't expect there will not be any practice next week. Then we'll have 3 day practices. I guess 3 practices a week. So I'm not sure how that lines up, or what that'll look like. I'll let you know once I see the practice schedule. But that'll lead us right up to the spring game on April 15th. So excited for that. I'll be there, as I mentioned, and trying to do a live event that day as well. So, as promised, an update on what the first spring practice delivered to us. I'm going to start with one thing that kind of jumped out, which was some weight changes for players. So Dallin Hayden is up 10 pounds. Amari Abar is up 19 pounds. CJ Hicks is up 5 pounds. Kenyatta Jackson is up 13 pounds. Tegra Shabola is up 7 pounds. I also have Caden Curry up another 9 pounds. Carson Hinsman is up 10 pounds, which is big, because he's competing for the center job. And then Joe Royer, who I highlighted in our podcast on the state of the tight ends, is up 8 pounds. So, secondly, I'd like to take a look at who came out for the first team reps on defense. So we'll just kind of go in order of what I saw. So on the defensive line, you had JTT, and then Tyleik Williams, and then Ty Hamilton, not Mike Hall, Ty Hamilton, and Jack Sawyer was back at defensive end. At corner, it was Denzel Burke and Jordan Hancock, kind of what I expected. At linebacker, Cody Simon and Steele Chambers. Again, kind of what we expected with Tommy out for the spring. At safety, you had Lathan Ransom, Josh Proctor, and Cam Martinez. Of note, I mentioned some of those weight changes. You could see the physical change with Caden Curry. He looks a lot thicker and noticeably stronger, and kind of chiseled, honestly. So that's nice. Jack Sawyer, the same. While his weight really didn't change, they still have him listed in the 260, 265 range. He looks carved up. So it looks ready to dominate this season. And perhaps the weight that he gained last year, he's adding that definition and adding that strength. And that will help him along the way this season. Surprises, I would say, were Cam Martinez being out there with the first team, Ty Hamilton, and then Cody Simon. Not necessarily a surprise, but it is interesting because I thought maybe we would see Gabe Powers, since Simon's been around the program a while, but that may be why he was in there. Just an interesting thing. Another note, Kenyatta Jackson. Holy smokes. He looks like a dude. He added, I think all of those 13 pounds that he added were muscle, and he's long, should be poised for a breakout season in year 2 and some serious reps and some big game action. he looks the part and he looks ready, and I think we're going to see a big year from him. And I know JTT will get a lot of the reps there, but don't be surprised to see Kenyatta Jackson being in the two deep, splitting some of the, probably those reps like, 65-35. Mitchell Melton was back doing everything with the team in individual drills without a knee brace. So that's important for the jack position if you want Jack Sawyer to be back at defensive end. So it was fantastic to see. I'm glad for that young man. He's only been approved to do individual drills up until this point. It'll probably stay that way through the entire spring. I wouldn't expect it to be any different. And so the last thing I would say is I hadn't seen Davison Igbinosun up close like I did today in some of the videos that were shared, and he is the same size as Sonny Styles. And honestly, like if you're looking at a distance, he looks like Sonny Styles because he's wearing number 20 now, and Sonny Styles has switched to number 6. So some ball hawking playmakers, big dudes in that back end for Ohio State. So excited to have both of those guys on our defense and on our team this year. Offensively, Kyle McCord came out first with the quarterbacks, which was to be expected. He's been in the program the longest. Nobody, write anything that says, oh, well, McCord's going to be the starter. He came out first. Devin Brown switched to number 33 in honor of Sammy Baugh, an NFL Hall of Fame quarterback. It's important to him and important to his family. And so interesting to see. It's been a long time since I can really remember us having a quarterback that did that, if ever. So I've seen, I think I remember maybe one of the Rutgers or Maryland quarterbacks were 21. I'd have to go back and look. But he also played like tight end or something. So kind of a neat thing, just kind of a neat thing for Devin Brown. From an offensive standpoint, exactly as I talked about in my last podcast, Josh Fryer is at left tackle, as I had said he would be. And also Carson Hinsman took first team reps along with Vic Cutler at center. I mentioned at the top that Carson Hinsman had put on 10 pounds. I mentioned him in our state of the offensive line, that I thought he had a legitimate shot to be the guy at center, and I still think that's the case. Zen Mahalski, as I mentioned, I thought if they moved Fryer to left tackle, Mahalski would move to right tackle. It's exactly what's happened. Mahalski has moved over to right tackle and is competing for the starting job with Tegra Shabola. Shabola was a guard and is moving out, so I think he needs more reps than perhaps Mahalski, even though Mahalski was came in as a left tackle. But either way, it sounds like they're sorting out the tackle position and the center position. So next, Dallin Hayden. Holy smokes, man. I'll tell you what, he is a dude. He is ready to roll. He's the real deal. I think all 10 pounds that kid added is all part of his upper body. Like his frame, his arms. When I was watching him go through the fumble drills and stuff, they were hitting him with the bat and everything else, and that ball was rock solid, and he's ready to rock and roll. And he looked electric in the drills that I saw and the snippets I saw today on film. So, of note, the wide receivers, there was a lot of question about like Kojo Antwi and some of the guys that came in last year, and like, would anybody be ready to step up? And they didn't see a lot of time last year. So I would say that Caleb Brown looked the most like a Ohio State receiver that we have come to know recently. Beyond that, Noah Rogers and Carnell Tate are as advertised. Man, those guys are huge. They look Big Ten ready. They look NFL ready. And I would expect that they're probably going to really push those year 2 guys. We don't put anybody in the transfer portal, but those guys look like the real deal. I saw a few throws from Devin Brown, and the ball was popping out of his hand. Looked like he had a little more oomph on it in the videos that I saw than in the past, but that could have just been he was just amped up, like he knows he has a real opportunity here. And truthfully, Kyle McCord can just spin it. Like that kid, he's a gifted passer. and he looked like that, exactly that, and he looks really comfortable too. Year 3 in the system, so he looked really comfortable. Other things I noticed, the practice videos that I saw, they had a lot of energy, a lot of activity, a lot of creativity. The intensity was cranked way up from last year, and it showed with the players. They look like they are on a mission, and that is really good to see. Um, we'll keep an eye on the intensity and the competitions as things go. But I mentioned kind of some big surprises for me. I'd say the number one was Mike Hall not being with the ones. Like that, I don't get it at all. Mike Hall is a game wrecker, a game changer, needs to be on the field. I respect that. We have some veterans there, and but Mike Hall needs to be on the field no matter what. So, and then I was also surprised to see Josh Proctor and Cam Martinez out early in the safety rotation, but it's the first practice, so things are always fluid. I would say also, if you didn't hear me mention C.J. Hicks, don't worry about C.J. Hicks. He was not going to be out there with the ones with you know Steel Chambers being back and able to practice this spring. He was not going to be out there at the Mike linebacker position. That was either going to be Cody Simon or Gabe Powers. Steel Chambers is on the boundary, and I'm watching to see if they put Hicks in at the jack position some. So I'll keep you updated on that. Coach Day did specifically mention Caden Curry in his post-game press conference, or excuse me, post-practice press conference, and Mitchell Melton as possibilities in the jack position. We want to root for Mitchell Melton and maybe C.J. Hicks. I'm not necessarily wanting to put Caden Curry there. I think he could spell Jack Sawyer at the defensive end position, but having Mitchell Melton be the jack is key to having Jack Sawyer back on the defensive line at defensive end where he really needs to be. Keep an eye on that. And he did mention also that they have to find a way to get Sonny Styles on the field a lot, that he's a playmaker. Good to hear about that. That's going to do it for me today. That was really everything I wanted to touch on. I hope that you guys found this informative. Keep staying tuned. I'll keep you guys updated as we go through this. I'll keep an eye on things, let you know what I'm seeing. I'm really hopeful that we don't have any injuries come through or come up other than bumps and nicks, and I want everybody that's been out, Trey Henderson and the others to get healthy and be ready to go for summer and fall camp. So thanks for listening. If you have any questions, drop them in the comment section on our YouTube channel, or hit me up at our website at thebuckeyeblitz.godaddy.com. Happy to answer those. I know normally I do a Q&A Tuesday, but with today being a spring practice, I thought I would just drive through what happened today. I will answer some of your questions on Friday for Buckeye Friday. I've got 3 that had come in over the weekend, so appreciate those questions. Thanks for listening. Hope you enjoyed the information. We'll have another podcast for you on Friday. I'll drop some knowledge about Thursday's practice. Until then, see ya and go Bucks.